What's going on? Another video from the infamous Thompson's Kennels coming live to you from Hoodwoods. Getting ready to hit this yard, but we're gonna go ahead and cook up. Herschel. Herschel. Who fucking pissed you off, homie? Hey, this one's for Pelican Bay Kennels, man. Somebody sent me a video, man. Boy, you really on one, ain't it? Damn, cuzzo. You seem pretty damn bad, man. All right. Well, we're going to pick apart your little video and we're going to discuss some things. For the people who, because like I said, conflict sells. And I had a feeling when I made that video yesterday, I said, I know there's going to be some tampons and pocketbooks, just like it always is. Yet again in the video, made it very clear in the video, I'm speaking to the young bulls. Because that's what my channel is primarily for. A lot of the young guys who's into the dogs, they were reaching out to me regarding... Who's that going crazy back there? Oh, that's Furious. But what you call, they were reaching out to me asking questions about how to go about the dogs of present day compared to the dogs of yesterday, as far as trying to like see what's what and what's real and who did this and who did that. And the video that I made yesterday was primarily telling the young bulls, don't worry about these old timers. Worry about the dogs you have and you're feeding and trying to make a name for the dogs you own. Because there was a lot of fuckery done in these dogs in the past. Probably mostly everybody's favorite dogman got some kind of slander on their name. And you don't know if it's true or not because you're so far removed from those dogs. A lot of the young bulls get dogs now and they look back in the fourth and fifth generation and stuff and they'll see these famous dogmen or famous dogmen names in their pedigree and they're correlating their dogs to them. Well, if we're talking 3 years per generation, let's just say if we're playing by the honor code, you're talking 3 years per generation. If you're talking about somebody, a famous dogman's name who's in the fourth or fifth generation, you got to do the math from that person on to the dog you got. So if you're doing just say 3 years, 3, 6, every 3 years would be a generation. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So some of you young brothers are running around with dogs that y'all are trying to hook up to a person 15, 18 years ago. If you walked up to them with your dog, they probably wouldn't even know it came or it was a descendant from their dog because that's how far removed you are from that individual. So my advice to the young bulls was worry about the dogs you're feeding now and move forward. Stop trying to hook up your boat to these guys because you sometimes you really don't know what you're hooking up to, because when the truth comes out on certain individuals, now you feel some type of way about your dogs because you found out 20, 30 years ago somebody was doing this, that, and the third. So your best bet is to move forward with your animals. Now, from my video, Pelican Bay Kennels got very upset. He took it as a personal attack on him and his tent videos. Now, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. And I put this on my newborn son's life. I haven't even seen the tent videos you make. I don't follow you. I don't follow you since the day you reached out to me and asked me for an interview. And when I replied to you, what do you want to talk about? You kind of start talking out the side of your mouth to me. Because I asked you, what did you want to do an interview about? And you took offense to it. Because over here at Thompson's Kennels, we don't hold no punches. I heard you up there saying you a big dog, and yeah, you meeting another big dog right now. I don't hold no punches. You reached out to me to do an interview, and I asked you what did you want to discuss. This is when you first started coming up. And that's the only reason I heard of you is because you reached out to me. Let's just get that on wax. I said, what did you want to talk about? And you took offense to that, saying, oh, I don't do no pre-recorded and not pre-recorded. I don't do no pre-fathomed interviews. And my response mentally was, I did one interview on the internet with somebody, and that was 78 Sports TV. And he reached out to me to do the interview, and he had an itinerary of things he wanted to discuss with me. And he sent it to me like, hey, I want to talk about this, that, the third. So, 78 is a professional YouTuber, a professional content creator. So from that experience with him, I thought that's how that shit maneuvered around the board. You know, people were professional and had things that they specifically wanted to discuss, and that's what the interview would consist of. You came to me on some like homeboy shit, and me and you ain't homeboys, my dude. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. And we're going to get to that later on in this conversation as well. But from that moment when I declined the interview, you got on YouTube and you started talking a little bit sideways at the end of your video towards me. And I didn't really get on you like I was supposed to get on you. I think I did a live and said, you know what? We just going to chalk that up to miscommunication. And I'm going to go my way and go your way. Now, that video I made yesterday, I clearly explained in this video who the information was for and why I gave it to them. Now, from that interview, you took out what you wanted to take out, because I think you said a word subliminal. And I really don't like that word subliminal, because anybody that I ever had an issue with on YouTube, and I'm not reopening old wounds or scabs for anybody, but anybody that I had a problem on YouTube with, I had no problem saying their name. From Triple J, from the K9 dude, from whoever. I had never had any issues saying no name. So I kind of don't like that word being put with Thompson as subliminal, because it kind of gives off the appearance like somebody's scared or nervous about anything. And I take confrontation head on. Head on, bro. So I don't appreciate you using that word subliminal, because if I had something to say to you, I'm going to say it just like I'm saying it right now. Herschel, Pelican Bay Kennels, this one's for you. This video is for you, homie. So I don't like that word subliminal. It makes me feel, words trigger in my head when I hear that. Fear, weakness, timid. And none of that correlates to me. So I didn't care about the Tant interview. Didn't watch it. Don't know nothing about it. Evidently, from what hashed out, now I know what's really going on here. You watching me pretty goddamn hard. Because I know I didn't say nothing in that video about David Tant, and I didn't say nothing in that video about Pelican Bay Kennels. I said it from a young dog man's perspective. Worry about your dogs and moving forward with your dogs. But I kind of feel like you got it out for me, homie. When you make your next video, I appreciate it if you would answer that question, because it seems like you got it out for me. If you looking for smoke or something, because I think you said in your video I'm in South Carolina. I am in South Carolina. My grandfather's from South Carolina. This big ass property that you see me on is his land. I continued to pay the taxes for it after he passed away. And eventually I saved up enough money to move my family out here to truly enjoy it. So, where you at? Myrtle Beach? That's an hour, not even an hour, that's like a 47-minute drive from me. So, if it's something else, let me know what it is, and we can make it happen. But other than that, there was no personal attack on you. It was me helping out the youngsters that's confused about, well, what do I do? And that's what the video was for. Now I'm gonna just give this information to you. You seem like a lost dog man. And what I mean by that is, you kind of got into some shit with Going Hard Kennels and shit about their little thing. I actually watched Going Hard, so I kind of picked up on that part of it, of what was going on. You getting into a lot of shit with everybody. I don't really know what your end game is. Let's go into that. Let's go into that before we move too far forward. Well, the twins on Going Hard, they come from a different time. Those two brothers, they up there in age. They want to give out their information about dogs. They want to give out their information, their life story about dogs and the things they encountered and did. And that's their God-given right to do. I'm not here to argue or combat. Some of the stuff that they put on their channel is very entertaining. It is very educational regarding to certain things that you could pull from their content and apply to your dogs today as far as conditioning. If you're in the conformation shows, whatever, you know, they have a wealth of information. Now, you kind of got into a spat with them, and this angle from what I'm starting to see is you're trying to like combat the old school dog man with the new school dog man and what they did and what was right. You were never in the caliber of high level boxmanship, if you want to put it like that, or doing dogs. You know, I asked them, when you asked me for the interview, I asked around some heads around where I'm at in the Carolinas, from Orangeburg all the fucking way to Sumter to Greenville. Nobody heard of you or that Sambo dog. Which kind of makes me feel like you capping. Let's just keep it 100. You arguing with these old dudes, and I don't want to call the Going Hard twins y'all some old dudes, but you know, y'all older gentlemen. I'll call y'all old heads. I ain't want y'all to take that as disrespect. Even though I'm kind of old. I ain't on the age of y'all, but you're getting into these arguments with all these old timers and shit about what they was doing. And I'm kind of catching on to how this is starting to rock. Because I remember the conversation, I did an interview with Ram when I started the live series about the steroids. Now, I'm not no dog fighter. I ain't none of that shit, homie. But as far as I've been in these dogs, I knew about steroids. I'm starting to believe the persona that you trying to give off. Like you some retired dog fighter that you kind of want to be in their shoes, but you not cut like that. So you don't have the evidence or the proof to really give off like you was living that lifestyle, but you trying to relate. This is where the truth starts to come in with shit. You trying to relate to them like you was doing X, Y, and Z, but they didn't really believe you. Then I kind of caught that little thing with the other homie that you did, because that was a big topic when you was up here putting people's names and information and pictures and active cases out there and stuff like that. I kind of get the gist of it as if like you trying to sell street dreams to street niggas and they not believing you. And when they call you on it, you get upset and try to change the narrative about this ain't then and this ain't now. You kind of come off like an undercover rookie, because I don't know nobody who was out here actively doing dogs that act like steroids was a shock. Steroids been around since forever. Azium, all that stuff that they was using, we talking back all the way to Don Mayfield days. They was always using something to constrict the blood vessels, dry the dogs out, enhance the dogs for a competitive show. This is all new, but to you it seems like it is new, and it's old shit. And that kind of lays the groundwork for what is going on. It just seems like you capping, bro. Like everything you talk about, even when you saying it, because you have the camera looking at your face when you be talking about these old stories. And it seemed like it's all cap, bro. I literally heard you say on a video you had a dog, y'all had a dog running around in the woods and all kind of stuff and not tethered, and like the shit you be saying don't be making sense, bro. You start rambling, and that's the problem with talking too much. When you start talking too much, you start letting people know exactly how much knowledge you have. And I'm from Brooklyn, bro. I can tell a fabricated bullshit story from a mile away. And a lot of the shit you be talking, it don't seem realistic, bro. It seemed like you just making shit up off the hip. I mean, I heard you say you had a dog that was an ace that you had to pick up. And a big argument ensued behind that. It can't be an ace if you had to pick it up. And you went left and started talking about you was in the box with the KKK and all this other wild ass shit that don't make sense is very highly fabricated and unbelievable. You was in the box with the KKK and the Grand Master Wizard, and you had to pick your dog up, and that dog's an ace. Bro, stop capping. My advice to you, stick with what your original plan was. Because you wouldn't have got this video if you didn't mention my name. But since you mentioned it, let's just lay all the cards on the table. Stick with what your original plan was. Try to help the young brothers do the dogs in the right way. Like, I don't fight dogs. I don't advocate anybody to be fighting dogs. I don't proclaim myself as some old school dog fighter that, I'm just a breeder. I can take that title and go lay down and wake up quite comfortably and look myself in the mirror. I don't need no extras on it. You need extras on it. That's why you was trying to run around with everybody that did X, Y, and Z, and you was trying to fit in until you started running your mouth, and 1 + 1 = 2. But when you started talking, 1 + 1 = 6. It's not believable. So you reaching for conflict, you reaching for that type of energy for monetization so you can get more money. Those videos of you telling them dogs to sit in the park wasn't really hitting them clicks like that. You didn't really start getting views until you started walking that fine line of bullshit. Long story short, a lot of controversy. That's when people start clicking in and listening to you. And yet again, I don't run yellow dogs. People who personally know me know I don't like Mayday dogs. You'll never feed one. It's not one dog on my yard with Mayday in its genealogy. I just don't run them. It's not my cup of tea. I don't slander the dogs. So a lot of the stuff that you argue and debate about has no verification or reflection of what I got going on. So it's not hurting me or taking no money out my pockets or anything. Everything I said in that video is just what's went on through time, but you kind of took it as a personal attack on you. And it wasn't, my brother. I'm just clearing it up for you. And I'm just clearing up a lot of things that I see that make sense to me. Be who you are. You won't have to portray like you some old dog fighter that retired and you seen the light and now you up here trying to save anybody, because all the old motherfuckers that was doing dogs at a high level would have heard of you. They would have known of you. And I'm telling you now, people in your own area don't know you. You may know them, but they don't know you. And they damn sure don't know about half of these war stories that you up here talking about. And I ain't trying to be the dude to pull the shower curtain back on a motherfucker, but let's just keep it a bean all the way across the board. You started capping, and then when you started capping, people started seeing it and called you out on it, and then you kind of got into this big defense mode, slander mode. Bro, you opened the door for that. If you gonna sit here and disclose and talk about people, when they decide to talk about you, you can't sit here and have a leg to stand on. Me personally, I wasn't talking about you, like I said, but now I am. You a capaholic. Be who you are, bro. Keep it a bean. You ain't gotta have no, I was this and that, and you know you wasn't. You wasn't that, because a person who was that would never say they had to pick an ace up off the floor. It wouldn't be no fabricated stories about going into the KKK and all of this stuff and you had to pick your dog. All that shit is imaginary fucking story. It don't sound real. It may sound real to the little homies that listen to you and shit, but it ain't real to the motherfuckers who've been outside. Let's just cut the shit, homie. It ain't that serious, man. And you kind of turned it into some race shit. I know plenty of YouTubers. I don't discredit anybody for what the money they make is. I know what the game is in YouTube now, since I got monetized. It's about clicks and all of that other good shit. You know what I mean? The more clicks you get, the more money you get. The more advertisement you run, the more money you get. What's entertaining is conflict, what I just said in the last video. Now, I'm going to do you a favor, because now more people probably going to click on you behind this damn video, and you're going to make some money off of it too. But I'm just going to sit here and tell you the real, and what I believe is the real, because it seemed like you just woke up and had some energy towards Thompson, like I was up here saying, fuck PBK, I said, man, fuck all the old timers and these damn stories that y'all young brothers is believing and move forward with y'all dogs. That was pretty much the gist of what I was saying. And that a lot of slander goes on when dogs become popular. When Tom Garner became popular, his dogs, everybody said his dogs wasn't shit. When he started making a ton of money off of dogs. When Ronald Boyles put out good dogs, oh, his dogs quit, they not shit. What I was saying went across for all of these old school dog men. I don't know why you sat there and singled yourself out. I had to get up here and defend Ronald because motherfuckers was talking sideways about him. And that man ain't like that. That's a stand-up brother. I know he ain't like that. He ain't never sit there and tell you this dog is this, that, and the third, and it wasn't. That's not how he gets down. He'll tell you right in your face that he's a breeder. That's what he does. He breeds dogs. But yet, from all this information I said, you took it personal. And what's happening with you, brother, is you're starting so many fires around you. Whenever you do get shot, you ain't even gonna know who shot you, bro. Just keeping it in the bean with you. When you do get hit, you ain't even gonna know where it's coming from. Just being honest, man. You was better off sticking to what your original thing is, man. Be about the dogs, help the young brothers with these dogs and try to keep them out of jail and stuff. But you kind of getting sucked into this little Twilight Zone world where now you done made yourself seem like you some old school dog man who had this and was doing that and nobody's never heard of you. You know, you doing way too much for the I can't even say for the gram. What is it? You doing too much for YouTube, brother. You doing too much for you, because I know damn well I didn't say nothing about no damn yellow dogs. I could give two fucks about some yellow dogs, bro. That's your argument. You stand up for Waccamaw and all these other fucking camps and Big John and all these dogs and shit. That's your battle to fight. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That'd be me up here talking about Queen of Hearts. I ain't own her. I got dogs with her all in the pedigree and shit, but I don't have no direct relation to that dog. I don't give a fuck. The dogs that I'm feeding now gotta live up to whatever bar these dogs set back in the day. They gotta reflect that. That's about it. But me, as far as me going back and arguing and fighting and defending and all of this shit, how many times I don't like their style. They got a curve fighting style, blah, 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 historically speaking. All this shit means nothing to me. It means a lot to you. But you sitting up here talking about X, Y, and Z. You was having a real hard time with them puppies trying to sell them for 4 racks, my dude. I'm known, and I get a lot of information. So we ain't going to start pulling the covers back on everything. And now, like I said, this ain't going to be a diss video or nothing to discredit you. I'm just watching the shit transpire in front of me. And like I said, you really wouldn't have got this video if you ain't mentioned my name talking kind of sideways for the second time. So we just gonna have some clarification. Everything you do on your channel has 0 fucks to do with me. Whatever argument you have personally with this line or this dog man has nothing to do with Thompson. And just like the last video I made yesterday, it has nothing to do with me. The message I was saying has nothing to do with you. Because yet again, I don't give a fuck about David Tant. I don't give a fuck about no yellow dogs. None of that shit. You never could find me on video talking about some yellow dogs. I don't give a fuck about that, bro. So you watch my video. You made it personal and made it a personal attack on you in your mind. Instead of just being a man and saying, hey, Thompson, were you talking about me in that last video? And I'd have clearly answered you the same way you emailed me and contacted me asking for an interview. You could have asked about that. But yet again, we all know how the internet is played. So, you going about what you doing, homie. I ain't hating on you. And I damn sure ain't gonna discredit how you making your money. Like I said, that's between you and God. And as far as referring to all of the white man shit, oh, I get up and go work for a white man. I ain't gonna start no extra controversy, but I'm pretty damn sure I saw a white man get up on camera and tell you to shut the fuck up, homeboy. Recently, in the last 48 hours. And he's a very popular YouTuber. But I know you seem to have a lot of energy for this black brother right here. And me and that other YouTuber that told you to shut the fuck up, me and him had words in the past before regarding the Boyles dogs. And I have no ill will or ill intention towards him. I'm not mad at him. I don't like him. It's neither either or. He does what he does and I do what I do. But I notice you pick and choose your battles. So, not going to go back and forth. I'm just going to say what I thought and felt and took from the video you said. I think I pretty much answered everything you had to say in that video. But, bro, do what you was doing. Stick to the youngins and trying to help them like you originally started to. Because now what you got going on, it kind of, I may just watch the 10th interview just to see exactly what the fuck is going on. Because, yet again, I haven't seen it. I can't watch some of you motherfuckers for no hour and no change. And that ain't what I do. But I may just watch it just to see what the fuck the big hype is all about. But at the same time, bro, no beef. I'm not looking for you. I'm not here to discredit you. I'm just here to call a spade a spade. As far as the old timers go, with the going hard twins and stuff, let them brothers do what they do. If they want to reiterate and talk about their life stories and stuff and they dogs or how they feel or how they felt, that's their perspective to feel. If you was not living that life, which I'm pretty sure, because I don't care what you say, just what I heard come out your mouth, you wasn't really living that life, bro. And if you're not living that life, you can't tell somebody who lived it how they want to display it or speak on it. Because that's kind of where you started nose diving down, is when you start beefing with them boys. Just do you and keep it entertaining. If them people wasn't watching them videos with you playing fetch and teaching your dogs how to sit wasn't popular, you found something that is working for you now. But at the same time, that game you playing, it's a very dangerous game, because when you're sitting behind a computer in your house and shit, it's very few repercussions. You feel very safe and stuff, and there's no threat from me at all. I'm just telling you 100, because I hate to see something happen to brothers out here on this internet and not knowing who they really dealing with. But yet again, no threats from Thompson. I'm trying to help you and save you, my brother. You probably need to find something a little bit more peaceful to what you was doing before, because the path that you on right now, it just seems like you want smoke with any and anybody. And what happens is when you create all of that friction, you don't end up you end up at the end of the day, when you do get hit, you don't even know who did it to you. It is a true thing of having so many enemies, where when it comes back around, it comes back quicker than the Gatling gun, unfortunately. But I gave you about 27 minutes. You have a blessed one, bro. I'm going to end it with, I'm glad I didn't do that interview with you, because you're not really a character that I want to associate with. And that's just me humbly speaking. You're not a character that I want to be involved with, or a character that I need to be going back and forth with. Hopefully this video here clears up a lot of things that you assumed that was being said in the video about you, because you're nobody to fear. You're not nobody that is going to require a subliminal response for. I'll talk to you directly on this phone. I'll talk it directly to your face. Like I said, I'm in South Carolina. I'm 45 minutes away from Myrtle Beach. There's no scary shit going on over here, homie. You're nobody to fear. But with that being said, man, I hope God blesses you in your endeavors, man. And I hope he protects you, because it's the Wild Wild West out here, bro. But other than that, man, everybody, y'all have a blessed one. And like I said, conflict sells.